Insanity, insanity, whatever happened to humanity? Ooh.
I think we got it right. There we go. All right. Hello. Hey guys, do y'all know how much I've been trying to fix this freaking light on this camera, man? It shut off, and then when I fixed it, the fuse blew. So I had to do everything all over again. This was over a 30-minute fix. But I think I played. Hold on, I get the. Oh yeah, everything looks good. It's like it's like it never happened. Guys, y'all know how much I've been wanting to review this anime. I've been wanting to review this anime since forever. And I've been having a lot of holdbacks and setbacks and a whole lot of things distracting me. I mean, the light even tried to distract me when I tried to review this. But we're here. We made it, damn it. I've been wanting to review this anime since forever, since I became a fan of the Akiba Trip series and the projects to begin with. Akiba's Trip, the animation, is the anime adaptation from the games that has been produced by Gonzo. As many times I reviewed animes from Gonzo, that's the first time I used that same reference. And it's been also published by Funimation. The series carries with the main character Tamatsu, who has a sister named Nawaka, who soon discovers the city is under attack. It is up to them and his friends to protect Akihabara from vampiric cosplaying monsters known as the Bugged Ones. Guys, as you all can see, I am a huge Akiba's Trip fan, and I've came across Akiba's Trip when I was young. Like I think I came across this when I was like in my early 20s, man. I ended up playing Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed at a time when I was beginning to follow XZ Games, when XZ Games was making nothing but etchy, good combat fanatic games, and that was kind of how I ended up coming across Senran and Kaga because of XZ. And by me coming across Akiba's Trip, I have to admit, man, it blew me away with the whole combat mechanics, with the whole story itself. You just going across Akihabara, going to each stores, just being intertwined with the whole anime aspect of how it is just going to Akihabara in Japan itself. The game was very lifelike. The combat was very intense. Took a little while for you to get to the mechanics and stuff like that, but when you get everything hooked in, that's when you become a Akiba's Trip badass legend. I've been playing Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed for an oblivion, and I've been following the whole franchise from start to the whole entire brink of death of me just coming across good ones and bad ones. Akiba's Beat wasn't even all that great. Even the Akiba's the Hell and Unbound wasn't even all that good either. So they made some dolls. They made some dolls, man. But I highly recommend you guys playing Akiba's Trip because actually this anime is based on Akiba's Trip to begin with. And I've been bragging so much about how good I am with these games, especially with the Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed one. And I have to hold that torch. I am a huge badass gamer when it comes to this shit. And people always ask me, why don't you stream it? Why don't you get back into the whole genre of the game so we can see how good you are? Well, simple. I've gotten old. Man. I've kind of grew out of it. But then when I found that they made an anime based on Akiba's Trip, I had to watch it. I had some concern. But damn, this anime was good. This anime was phenomenal. Fantastic. Now, there was some reviews that bombed this anime, but I think they're not a fan of the games, or they probably just didn't know the mechanics of the games to begin with. But for me, that's been a fan of Akiba's Trip and played them all, and by me being a hardcore reviewer and being very strategically on point with my accuracy by me giving you my statements of my reviews, you motherfuckers need to watch this anime, and you motherfuckers need to actually play this game too. You are missing out if you are an anime fan, a gamer, an ecchi fan, or above all, if you just want that little big topsy-turvy experience, because everything is being censored these days. These are anything but censored. Yeah. The anime picks up at a fair pace, but it actually gives you that little bit of that endurance of you being a fan of the games. They actually show you the characters, but before we get too attached to all the main characters and his friends, we get attached to Akiba once again, just in case if you played the originals. How lifelike Akiba is, how the lights and the scenery is for you to get pulled into the whole game and to the anime itself. And even though the game do have like some linear places for you to visit, they did go above and beyond with certain places you can go to. And they did that well here on the game, and when it comes to the anime being based on it as well. Like, for example, I do like the fact they showed certain anime stores and certain cosplay restaurants that we would experience watching this anime, and at the same time they went above and beyond by showing us one of the most annoying features in the game that we cannot avoid, which is one of the con artist liars that try to swindle us to get cash so they can scam you, that be in the streets of Akihabara so much they got those motherfuckers here on the damn anime. And when I seen it, I was like, what the hell? They was even able to put this on the damn anime as well too? There's so many Easter eggs on this anime. So many Easter eggs and so many things on this anime, dog, keep you getting up and just saying, ooh, I remember that, I remember that, I remember that too, I remember that on the fucking game. I was Leonardo DiCaprio in this shit a lot, to the point where my fiance was getting pissed because I had to keep stopping and had to keep pausing the anime so many damn times. I like what they did here in the beginning of the project. They wanted us to be more hooked on the scenery and us being aware of how much that they took Akiba's trip seriously before we end up getting hooked into the anime franchise itself. Pretty smart, and it won me over completely before we got too attached to Tamatsu and his buddies. And speaking of Tamatsu, this is when I was beginning to get a little bit concerned with this anime, because by you creating your characters on the games, except Akiba's beats, I wanted to see how they was gonna make this main character. If you was gonna make a main character on this anime, this character has to be very, very attached to the whole project itself. By you showing us Akiba, showing us all these ecchi activities, showing us all the anime activities, and so on and so forth, this character has to be an anime fan, has to be a nerd, has to be damn funny, and at the same time he has to like throw himself out there to the point where he breaks the fourth wall a lot, because we get that a lot on the Akiba's games. We got that here. We got that here with Tamatsu's character, and I love his character a lot. His character really, really fits the whole description of the Akiba anime, and some people would say that he was way too over the top, way too cheerful, but I like that about his character. And again, these are for the people that probably haven't played the fucking game itself. Tamatsu has this certain aura about him that you have to take seriously when he has to take himself seriously. And at the same time, he knows how to shut it off when things become in a humorous aspect or in an ecchi aspect. So they do know how to mix these certain things up with this anime project, especially when it comes to his character being portrayed in the whole franchise itself. I like that with Tamatsu's character. And by us having certain mixtures of this character's potential and his personalities, he acts like a hero when he has to be. And actually, that's how the anime actually starts, when he puts himself in the front lines trying to protect his younger sister, and he gets caught on the brink of death, which leads to Nowaka's character, Tamatsu's younger sister. Not really much to say about her, but the fact that she is kind of witty, she is a kind-hearted character, and above all, she does what she can to try to help her brother and everybody else in Akihabara when things go bad. So I thought this was actually pretty good chemistry to show us not just Tamatsu, but just his lifeline of just his siblings or just his family itself whenever we have some downtime. So they did play it smart when it comes to the further attachment with not just the main character, but just how he lives his life. And when we get deeper into the anime project with the pacing with both of the characters, this is when we begin to be experiencing the bad boundaries of this anime when it comes to the outbreak of these monsters. Some people call them vampires, some people call them the undead. I just call them vampires. But the anime wants you to call them the bugged ones. And I don't mind that at all. I feel as if these dudes are pretty badass. These dudes, they literally come out at night, but that's when they're stronger. But during the day, there's still no spring chicken either. But people normally ask this question, well, if they're vampires, if they're bug ones, how can they survive during the day? Well, this is where the creativity of the whole Akiba's Trip project begins to unfold. By these bug ones surviving during the night, they stay in this contact shell, which is their clothes. Their clothes is what keeps them intact. They don't need no sunscreen. They just need to have their clothes on, which has their soul intact to them. So if their clothes get ripped off, or they're just completely nude, which is where the ecchi comes in, this is where they begin to disintegrate. Tomotsu and Iwaka begins to experience this by trying to defend themselves, and this is when Tomotsu gets to the brink of death by not even being aware of how much in big danger he is by trying to protect him and another character that begins to save his life, which is Matome. Matome, she is in none of the Akiba's games, but she is one of the characters that really stands out to the point where she had to carry the whole entire series because she knows a lot, she experiences a lot, and she is one of the gifted from the boundaries of these vampiric powers. So she can survive during the day, but she has so much tremendous power to the point where she can literally stand on her own. But if there's so much at stake with her, she can literally perish as well, the same way how the bug ones do. Which Tomotsu tried to protect her, and he ended up getting caught up, and at the brink of death, she gives him some of her powers by kissing him. And he ends up being one of the blessed ones by him having this type of bug powers as well. And this is when the anime begins to be at its full force of the strength potential of the project. As I was explaining, these characters, these bug ones, are no joke. They are badass, they are deadly, and above all, they can really kill you if you have your guard down. So I wanted to see the whole entire strength of the combat of this anime. Will it be just like the games? I did not think it would be, because the way how the games are, especially Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed, you can do certain executions when it comes to you taking down these bug ones. When you fight them fist to fist or use a weapon, if they are vulnerable enough, you can just press a certain button, you can rip their clothes off. But if you are deeper into the game, you come across these super execution moves where you could press a certain button at a certain time, do a certain animation scene, and then bam. And you can mix up these executions, like you can do like a dancing sequence or a kung fu sequence, or a certain sequence when you do like a magician trick and just snap your finger like Thanos' ring and everybody just have their clothes disintegrated or evaporated and they just blitherate through the damn wind. Can you believe that they got that shit on here? They decided to put all those executions on this damn anime. I was surprised that they put a lot of the executions that I was able to recognize, that I was able to pull off of the game onto the anime. It really felt like I was playing the game again. I was literally geeking the hell out. They even pulled out some animation executions that I never even experienced. And I kind of was wishing that if they made another Akiba's Trip game, to please let us get those type of executions, because there was an execution that Tomotsu did that I was on the heels, dying of laughter. Getting into deeper into this project, I did not just come across a lot of things of this anime that made me feel so warrantedly appreciative of what this project has done with the whole gaming franchise, but certain familiar characters that begin to help Tomotsu as well, that I recognize from the game, like Arisa. What the hell is Arisa doing on this damn anime? Now, I liked Arisa, but I didn't really take her seriously on Akiba's Trip because she was nice. She was like one of those characters that you kind of want to put her into the whole battlegrounds, and at the same time, man, she was gorgeous, man. And did I romance her on Akiba's Trip? I can't remember. I think I did, because there was a trope for you to romance every character on there. But damn, by me seeing her on this anime, I did not know how badass she was. I was like, Jesus Christ. And she's the ecchi appeal itself too. You're gonna see a lot of scenes where she's stripping down or stripping other people down or just wearing exotic outfits. I think she's like the exotic relief of this anime, because she's literally the cliche aspect of just horning up weebs. And I didn't mind that at all. I felt like stuff like that needs to like be on there, especially if it's necessary. If you're just throwing it into our face, and that's a problem. And that's actually something that a lot of anime fans mention, including myself. If you're gonna have something on an anime that is going to be revealing or just into the synchronage of an ecchi gesture, you need to make sure that it's warranted. But with an Akiba's Trip, that's the name of itself. Akiba's Trip, some people say Akiba Strip, which is pretty freaking creatively done. And I think that's how they end up making the context of the whole name of the anime like that anyway. But just the name of itself knows that there's going to be some extra context to begin with. I have to give praise to the sidelines of these animes, progressional projects. And what I'm saying is that I am actually surprised of how much I was enjoying the introduction and outroductions of this anime. The introduction gives you like this whole little pop introduction scenery just to get you up and just ready just to watch the next episode. I don't think I've ever skipped it. Only time I skipped it is when, my fiance wanted me to just not get into it because I was just so much in the geeky mode. And then the introduction, I liked how they switched up each introduction track and just give us different types of songs for us to get in tune with. And each of them was pretty damn good. I liked them all, actually. But that's not really saying much because I listen to anything. But at the same time, it matched the whole criminology of the whole Akiba's franchise to begin with. I feel like for something like this to be on an anime, it needs to have it into the matching tone for us to be more hooked into the project. Wrapping this project up, they decided to give us a few episodes of just giving us the intense levels of Akihabara. And don't get it twisted. The enemies are tough. They're pretty deadly, but I didn't tell you about the bosses on here and people that was in the brink of destroying Akihabara. The stakes was pretty damn high on this damn anime, and by me playing the games, I noticed that when we got introduced with a lot of ecchi or a lot of like humorous scenes on this whole project, when things were serious, I was on the edge of my seat, especially when I was introduced to the main enemy of this whole anime, and I was like, Jesus, like, this may not end well if this whole thing doesn't play well. And the last few episodes showed us the more intense levels of how the stakes can be high when it comes to these characters, how they can lose when it comes to them not apprehending apprehending their schedules correctly, when it comes to them overcoming their enemies' obstacles, and above all, not even knowing their weak points, even though they know that their weak points is to strip them down. But the main enemy, Jesus Christ, I was on guard, I was on the edge of my seat, I was entertained at the same time. I feared for these characters. I really did feel like, damn, like this was pretty intense, man. It made me forget that I was watching an anime that was all about humor, comedic relief. Overall, I enjoyed this anime from start to finish. This anime was indeed fantastic in my opinion. Even certain episodes where they gave us some downtime, they decided to show certain Easter eggs of the anime that was from the games as well. Just certain side missions gave me certain downtime play of just what they was doing into the anime series. I highly recommend you guys to play Akiba's Trip before y'all watch this anime, just so y'all can feel the hype of what I'm giving you guys. Or, as much as I didn't like Undead and Unbriefed, Hellbound and Debriefed. As much as I didn't like Hellbound and Debriefed, I would recommend y'all play this too. So play this one and play Undead and Undressed. Then y'all will see why I gave this a good recommendation rating. I'm gonna have to give Akiba's Trip the animation an A. Oh man, finally got that review done. Now, I gotta think what anime is next for me to review. I already did. Ooh, I gotta do this one. I gotta do this one. Zentai Filmworks made this. This is gonna be interesting. Well, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for my upcoming reviews and animes headed your way. I gotta put all this stuff right back in the library section. Everything is all alphabetical order. This is Hugo, your critic teacher. Hope you all have a good day.